something that we really want to be heading towards that direction. All right. So let me go back to the screen. I know you persons on TikTok is not going to see the screen, but I will, try to emphasize what it is that we're talking about. Okay, so with further ado, let's just start it off by saying today's topic is about menopause and andropause, understanding and managing change. And it's presented by myself, Lipton Lee. And the first part of the segment, we will discuss, I will discuss a few things, and then I will start entertaining conversations with you guys online. So bear with me, all right? Now, myself, I am a holistic wellness trainer or coach. And I've been in fitness for quite a number of years. I started out in 1988, and I have helped so many people along the way. And over the years, I've support and keep evolving with fitness and with healthy lifestyle changes over the years. And I have firsthand experience. I have firsthand experience of a lot of these changes that we both men and women go through. Some are more personal to me than others, and listening to a group of ladies talk about it was not the highlight of my life, but again, it was one of those moments where I had to sit and listen and try to understand what menopause was all about. What is menopause? Right? Menopause is a stage in a woman's life when her menstrual cycles permanently stop because of her ovaries produce less estrogen and I struggle with this word, progesterone, right? I got it right. Cool. It's a natural part of aging, but the hormone changes can bring physical and emotional symptoms. We can manage this for a healthier lifestyle and more comfortable lifestyle. Andropause is almost similar. It is a gradual decline in testosterone levels in men, usually starting in midlife. So that's why they say men have midlife crisis, right? And you can call it a crisis, but it is really male menopause because it can bring changes in energy, mood, muscle mass, and sexual health. Like menopause, it's natural, and with the right lifestyle changes, you can manage these symptoms. Now, so here's a questionnaire that I hope you guys have access to a pen or pencil, and I will just read through these questions, and please answer these, and then we can go through this later. Now, have you noticed any changes in your mood or energy or sleep lately? Yes or no? Write that down. Has your body changed in ways you didn't expect, like weight loss or weight gain, muscle tone, or temperature changes? You could be having hot flashes or not, or cold flashes. I've heard of that too. Have you experienced this change in focus, memory, or mental clarity? Here's one that you might have to write a little short question for this, a short answer for this. What's one change or symptoms you'd most likely to see, So write that down. I'll give you a few minutes. Just think about it. So these questions, you can add more to it, but I didn't want to because of the nature of this conversation. And I want it to be short and spicy, nothing too elaborate. And then we can have this conversation where we're going to go through from one person to the next, having this talk about experiences and stuff like that. All right, here we go. So let me just go back through the questions. Have you noticed any change in your mood, energy, or sleep lately? Yes or no? Has your body changed in ways you didn't expect? Either weight loss or weight gain, muscle tone, or temperature changes? Yes or no? Have you experienced changes in focus, memory, or mental clarity? Yes or no? What is one change or symptoms you would most like answers about today? Right? What's one change or symptoms most you would most like answers today about? I can't read. All right, here we go. So I hope you guys have written that down. So let's move on to the next slide. And what's happening? What is happening in our bodies? Right now, before we dive into today's conversation on menopause and stuff, I want you to think of your own experiences, and I don't want you to share them right now, but think of your own experiences, and we can always discuss this later in the program. We have these changes that are happening to our bodies, and sometimes it's hard to figure out. Sometimes it just starts sparking some questions, and we end up going to the doctors just to try to figure it out, and most times it's as simple as either a menopausal stage or either an andropausal stage. Now, the changes you're noticing, whether it's mood swings, stubborn weight gain, hot flashes, lower energies, or brain fog, are not random. There are signs that the body's hormone balance is shifting. And the body's balance tend to shift as we age. And sometimes it switches for the best, sometimes it doesn't. We just have to deal with it as it comes. In menopause, the estrogen and progesterone levels decline. In andropause, the testosterone levels decline. So you're going to find different things happening, and they're similar from one to the next. For women, certain things are declined. For men, certain things are declined. These hormones are like your body managers. They help regulate metabolism, mood, sleep, muscle mass, bone health, and even now how you clearly think. When these hormones levels changes, it's like the managers suddenly step out of the office and decide that they want to take a break. So everything just doesn't go the same way when a manager is there. Things get done, but not as smoothly as you hope for. So your hormones decide to start going haywire, your body start feeling totally different, you wondering what is happening. And sometimes you will get the help that you need, but sometimes you don't get the help that you need. The good news is that these changes are not a life sentence. It feels like it at the moment, but it is not. With the right lifestyle adjustments, nutrition, exercise, and stress management, we can change and feel stronger, feel focused, feel vibrant again. Now, the changes, each body goes through different changes. Each person's deal with things differently. I've met with a few women in the past couple of weeks or probably months, and some of them are dealing with things differently. And one, however, has not saw any symptoms. Only thing she knows is that my body has changed. And things. She stopped seeing her period, and she realized that she's going through menopause, but she haven't had the side effects like a lot of other persons. Some men, they tend to start gaining the weight around the midsection, and I have again spoke to a few men within the midlife crisis era, and one of the things that they start doing now is taking control of their life, and they're looking at one, using exercise as a way to start rebuilding their muscles, two, to help with weight loss, and three, to start changing how their whole outlook on life. So exercise does a lot to the body. We just need to find a way of not killing ourselves when we get into the gym, but trying to aid our muscles, aid our lifestyle, and do things on a different level. So you will be hearing me talk about more on lifestyle changes and fitness and nutrition and health. Okay. Now, what are the differences between menopause and andropause? Right. One is where, as I mentioned, the estrogen levels fall for the woman, and for the men is the testosterone. The similarities is that they have mood swings, weight gain, um, mostly around the midsection. Their bone density has fallen below, or sometimes it might fall above the recommended allowance. So if it falls below, you're closer to osteoporosis. If it falls above, you're closer to osteopenia. When it falls above, that means the bones have a little bit more calcium inside it, and it's a little bit easier. Well, it will break as easy as when it is osteoporosis, right? So it's kind of like you damn if you do, you damn if you don't, but you have to start looking at your bodies and start thinking of what changes can I make to sustain a lifestyle. And this is a sustainable lifestyle. I always tell my clients, it is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So always try to make changes as you go along and look at things that you can adapt to, or you can get away. You can change or not do as you progress in your life. What is happening to our bodies now as we get older? What is happening? Analogy of the bodies running the company. Let's just go back through this before I go into what's happening to the bodies, right? Now, when your body is going through these changes, it's like I mentioned earlier about it's like running a company, and these hormone changes are like the managers, right? So before menopause and andropause, imagine your body is the company with top managers, 3 top managers. And the top managers are the estrogen, the progesterone, and the testosterone. Estrogen handles mood, temperature control, and bone health. Progesterone manages sleep quality, calmness, and balance in hormones. Testosterone oversees muscular strength, energy, and metabolism. So these are the 3 managers inside the body. All 3 managers are present, alert, and working full time to get the body moving the way it should. Energy is steady, weight is easier to manage, focus is sharp, and recovery is quicker. So think about those 3, right? Think about those 3 things that we talked about: the estrogen, the progesterone, the testosterone. And we will be going back through these 3 over and over again in this. Now, during menopause and andropause, Over time, those managers start working fewer hours. So they start declining. They start shifting away. They start leaving the body. The estrogen might leave the office early, hot flashes, mood swings, and bone loss appears. Progesterone, absence of sleep, your quality of sleep drops, and you feel less calm. Testosterone, shorter hours of muscles start losing your the way how you would lose weight, your metabolic rate just starts slowing down, and you start getting more belly fat. Again, I'm going through andropause now. And one of the things that I find with me is that I am gaining weight and I'm finding it very difficult to lose it. However, the difficulty is not because I don't know how. The difficulty is that everything now that I see and I try to eat is causing this bloatingness, this weight gain, the shift, and everything is now surrounding in that midsection area. Can I lose it? Of course, but proper lifestyle change, right? Now, the employees, your organs and muscles and brains are still doing their job, but they are struggling without consistent leadership. This is why the symptoms feel scattered but are actually all connected. Now, the goal is you can't hire the same managers back full time in the same way, but you can train the team differently with smart nutrition, exercise, sleep strategies, and stress control so the company strives well. All of this, what I'm saying, is basically trying to get you to understand that without a total lifestyle change or a shift in mindset change, you won't able to overcome what is happening to our bodies. It will happen. It's not like it won't happen. It will happen to each of us. How do we deal with it? That is the thing. Do we run away from it? Do we try to make some changes, change a variable? We can if we can do better if we change a variable. And that's what we have to look forward to doing, changing a variable. All right. Um, why menopause happens? Age. As women age, the ovaries gradually run out of eggs and slow down production of estrogen and progesterone. This is a part of the body's natural aging process. It signals the end of the reproductive years. All right. The sharp drop in these hormones causes changes in temperature control, metabolism, bone health, mood, and sleep. Again, because of these hormones not firing the way it should, because of all these changes, this is where your body temperature changes, your metabolism goes a little bit lower. So you're not you're not like you were in your 20s where one weekend you get up and you go eat so badly that weekend and you can burn that weight off the following day. And the body decides if you do the same thing you were doing when you were 20s, the body is going to tell you, listen up, I will eat whatever you want me to eat, but guess what? I will hold on to most of it because I'm not burning as much as I would like to burn because there is some shift in my body. Why andropause? Why andropause happens? In men, testosterone levels naturally peak in the late teens to early 20s, then start declining about 1% per year starting about age 30s to 40. Some persons start early, some persons start late. This slow decline can be sped up by stress, poor lifestyle habits, chronic illnesses, or lack of exercise. Lower testosterone affects muscles, energy levels, mood, bone density, and sexual health. Again, if you look back at what menopause is, they're almost similar. They both, there is the bone density loss, muscle, the mood, and sexual health. Now, these things tends to drop in a decline because one, the body changes. And with these changes, we just have to adapt and change. Okay? Solutions and strategies. Strategies. All right? For both plant-based foods, lean protein, high fats, hydration. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that shortly. But let's just go through this. Exercise, strength, cardio, flexibility. Cardio, yes, it's for heart health. Strength training is a must because it will help with strengthening the muscles so it can more support your bones a little bit better. And flexibility, that will help elongate those tight overactive muscles so you can be able to be pain-free and your mobility is way better. Sleep and stress. Sleep hygiene. Start looking at a detox before bed and a detox from all technology, from all technology, um, at a certain time at the night. Technology is what keeps us up. Technology is what changes our sleep mode. We might not have, if we keep staying up using technology, it will keep us up much longer than we all anticipated, right? So think about trying to have sleep hygiene and mindfulness, life support, weight management, social connection, and medical help. I know some persons don't want the medical help, but if you can get it, you can get it. If not, try making sure that everything you're doing, you start jotting down what you're doing and what affects and what changes those foods and the workouts that you're doing, change what kind of changes it does to your body. If it's something good, continue with it. If it's not good, change. There's so much support there is for your own lifestyle that it is unbelievable. For men, there is not much help out there for men. Everything is more geared towards women. And I'm not saying it is a bad thing. What I'm saying is that men need to start speaking up to say this is what we're going through, but we fail to do it because we're saying it is more of we're being a wuss. We're not man enough to share our lifestyle changes. But we need to get off that high horse and start focusing on the big picture. And the big picture is both are hormonal shift tied to aging, but menopause happens over a shorter time, more defined time frame, while andropause is slow and more gradual. You can't stop the hormonal changes, but you can change how your body responds through lifestyle, nutrition, and stress management. The solutions are eating more vegetables, fruits, legumes, and whole grains for fiber and vitamins and minerals. Your vitamins and minerals we might not get from natural foods, so it's always good to get a good vitamin supplement. Research whatever vitamin supplement that you're going to take, and if it have certain ingredients in there that you do all your due diligence. I was at a conference earlier this year, and also one of my managers was speaking with me and said that if the body has folic acid, don't quote me on this, I'm just saying what I heard. Um, if the vitamins have folic acid, it destroys your bone health faster. So there is one, I can't remember the name of it, but try to look out for certain things when you're choosing the right supplement, right? Um, Eat more lean protein, chicken, fish, eggs, tofu, beans, and support muscle and metabolism. That will support your muscles and your metabolic rate. Protein is one of those supplements that we take for granted. When you're looking at the amount of protein that the body needs, I will normally say go with your lean body mass and take that amount of protein. So if you weigh 150 pounds, but you have 50 pounds of body fat, try to eat about 80 to 100 grams of protein. Now, how to get that in? You can either eat it or you can drink it. Most of us tend not to be able to eat so much protein for the day. So this is why I would recommend taking a protein supplement. Healthy fats. Avocados, nuts, seed, olive oils will help balance hormone and brain health, right? Now, what is the can you get better um, natural fats than this? I don't think so. You will get some fats from fish, or if you have a good omega-3 supplement, that will work best. But try to eat everything as natural as possible and go from there. Limit the amount of processed sugars, and that will cause inflammation in the body. Processed sugars, anything within processed foods, read the labels. There is about 64 different sweeteners that they're using now, and these are not great for the body. Try to limit the amount of sugars that you put into the body. Sugar is like a drug, and it's hard to wean yourself off it. I start calling anything that is sugary or flour-based foods the devil's food, because it's inviting. It is so lovely. When you start eating it, you can't stop eating it. It just wants you to take in more and more and more. So try to avoid these things as best as you possibly can. Stay hydrated, drinking 6 to 8 glasses of water per day. Um, there is a little trick. So what I try to do for myself, and it tends to work for me. I don't know if it will work for you, but you can try. When I get up in the mornings, one of the things I do is to try to drink at least 8 ounces to 12 ounces of water. Room temperature, I don't really enjoy a cold water. I don't like cold water. So if it's room temperature, it can be slightly cold, but not very, very cold. I just don't like it. It gives me brain freeze. That's just not me. And then throughout the day, I will sip. I carry a 24-ounce bottle at work, and I try to sip on that as best as I can straight through the day. Some days I'm very good at it. Some days I'm not. I'm not going to lie to you that I'm perfect. I am not, but I try to do my endeavor best. Lifestyle support. Always find someone or a group that will help you, and this group should be non-judgmental. Everyone should be able to share what they're going through, and each person can understand what they're going through. So now, if I say to you, um, during this time, I might have my mood swings, and and I might have an intolerable sensation for sugar. Now, how is it that you're going to help me? Is by supporting me, by saying to me every day, you probably send me a text, remember, reduce your sugar intake. That's a good way of communicating and helping someone, support someone through this time of their lives. We all need that person in their life, in your life, that will be there for you, even if it's not beside you, but even a phone call away, a text away, just to reinforce that you are strong enough to push through this. Again, women do have more help than men, and I'm glad that you'll find that a lot of the men now are getting some support from each other, and it has been on a rise for the past couple of years now. Men are now sharing. Hormone changes are a chapter, not the end. So look at each change as a battle. You want to be able to win this battle, this challenge each time. It's going to be difficult when you're looking at it from the get-go. So think of it like you're trying to overcome a fear of probably walking down the street late at night, a fear of going to the doctor to get a checkup because you know you don't want to hear what the doctor needs to say. So this is your time now to try to change certain things about you and making these changes permanent. But nothing is written in stone. So if you try something and it not working for you, make a change. Always look at options. Small, consistent steps bring big results. It does. Start small. Start with looking at how am I going to get over the hurdle of sugars? How am I going to get over the hurdle of not going to the gym? Give yourself a gift of, say, a month at the gym and try it on for size. Either going there and walking on the treadmill and then start doing some light weight bearing exercises. Or if you can't afford the gym, start with sitting and standing from a chair. I started with a lady recently. She's now 60 and she has gone through menopause. She has lost some weight. She shared with me that she went on one of those weight loss drugs and she was taking it, and the doctor said now since she has lost the weight, she needs to start lifting weights to start building back her muscles. And when I did her scan, I realized that her bone mass it's low. So one of the things we start doing is looking at weight bearing exercises. We start looking at increasing her protein intake and also try to increase her calcium intake. Reducing her simple carbs. This is going to be a challenge because she is a big sweet and flour kind of person. That's her go-to meal. Every meal has something sweet. Every meal has something flour based, and this is her comfort foods. So making a change where one meal doesn't have anything sugary or floury in there would be a big step for her. So I'm challenging you guys is to make small, consistent steps. Look at everything that you're eating and let's try to take away the bad things from that diet, right? And on that note, I want to thank you guys for joining me with listening to me. And then I'm going to open it up for some questions. And hopefully you guys can share anything that you're going through, and then we can discuss it to see which steps we can look at and making that small change. All right. So persons on Zoom, you can unmute yourself and ask questions if you wish. Hi, Nicole. How are you?
Hi, Lipton. Very good to see you. I am just so happy that you're having this conversation, of menopause and andropause, because, men do go through hormonal shifts as well as we age. I mean, I'm a nurse practitioner. I specialize in midlife care for women. It's very passionate to me because contrary to what Lipton has says that women get a lot of support for menopause, actually it's the conversation is now changing here in the United States. Women were never really supported as they age. Um, and so it was my passion because I worked in OBGYN for decades, and I realized that women going through that hormonal shift were never given any kind of support. But men do actually have a decrease in testosterone, and women as well as we age. The good thing and the ironic thing about it is that as women, we do produce testosterone and we decrease our levels of testosterone as we age as well. For Lipton, I wanted to let you know that men do have options out there. They can do hormone replacement with their testosterone, because as they age and their testosterone level decreases, it's so, as you mentioned, it's a metabolite. It also helps in your energy level and so also your sexual health. Women do have a certain level of testosterone and not as much as men, but a lot of times as women age and the estrogen levels decreases, so does a testosterone, and they may suffer from low sexual libido, sexual symptoms as men. But if you do replace the testosterone through pellets or an injection from a provider that is licensed to replenish the hormones, the specific hormones, you do have such amazing dramatic results, and also it increases your lifespan. With women, hormone replacement therapy is amazing. I actually am postmenopausal, and I started hormone replacement therapy maybe about a year now, and it has been a game changer. For women, we go through at least 72 different symptoms of menopause. And it has been proven when you start hormone replacement therapy within the first 10 years of menopause, it definitely increases your longevity. It protects your brain from Alzheimer's. It protects your bones from osteopenia and osteoporosis, as Lipton mentioned. But it also protects your heart, your cardiovascular health. It helps with your hot flashes, your mood swings, and testosterone replacement also helps men with these things that we're going through. I mean, we are hormones, or blood sugar, or insulin is hormone, or or thyroid hormones that controls the metabolisms, or progesterone or estrogen. The body is just made from hormones, these messengers. And I'm so happy that Lipton is having this awareness in this conversation. Lifestyle modifications is key, as he mentioned. Weight management, exercise, eating the right foods. I mean, as we age, our metabolism decreases, and we definitely the strategies that we use in our 30s and 20s to lose weight don't work. Bulking up on your protein, as he mentioned, doing different types of exercises, because especially in women, as the estrogen level decreases in our body, as we lose it towards menopause, the cortisol level, which is another hormone, increases, and cortisol is what causes that weight deposit around our midsection, and it's a response to our stress. So once the cortisol levels in our body increases, we have an increase in weight gain, and so we cannot lose it by just exercising and doing crazy cardio. I used to be a cardio queen in my 20s and 30s, but once you start to and you get older in your 40s and you start to increase your cardiovascular activity and with through aerobics, you realize that you're driving a cortisol cycle, and it's increasing more cortisol in your body, and you just won't lose the weight. But a solution, as listed with Lipton had mentioned, is focusing more on weight strength bearing exercises. So also that mindset shift. In my platform, I have a platform known as Midlife Synergy. We focus on the womb and the holistic and mindset shifts, because you can use certain things to control your symptoms. But as we approach menopause, society has taught us that we're shrinking as we age. But if you reset your mindset to embrace menopause and andropause as an amazing time in your life and use it as a reset to sort of change your approach to aging and lifestyle. It has such wonderful benefits for your mind, body, and soul. So thank you, Lipton, for having this. I was so excited just to join this conversation, you know?
Thank you for coming.
Of
It's
course.
something near and dear to me because as soon as one of my very good friends mentioned to me that I need to do this talk because he has a few women going through it, and then for the past couple months, I've been having this conversation almost on a regular basis with different women, and sometimes you know the answers and sometimes you just don't know the answers. So a good mindset change is one of the best way to start with, and then start implementing little strategies that you can help them going through little by little, day by day, and hopefully these are long-term fix. Hi, Angie.
Hi, Lipton. Thank you for this conversation. Nicole, thank you for your input. You know, I give thanks first and foremost that the normal or regular symptoms of menopause, I have not been experiencing them. So I give thanks, every day. What I find though is the fatigue and the lack of sleep. I mean, I find it hard to fall asleep. And when I do fall asleep, like 4 hours and then I'm up again. And one of the things I think you mentioned it, or Nicole, I don't remember, but the detox from technology. Because
Yeah.
That was
you
Lipton.
know, you know that I am addicted to my computer, like it used to
Yes.
go to bed with me. So I have kind of withdrawn from the computer, but there is still the phone. So that is where I am, trying to, okay, put away the phone and, you know, detox from that. And the sleep, I was really shying away from having to take any supplements or anything like that. So I have been uh, trying like the chamomile tea or something that would have me calm down and relaxed. So it is getting a lot better. I mean, like consistently, I will do 5 hours now when before it was not that. And if I do wake up, I just don't take up the phone or do anything. I just quickly try to get myself back in sleep mode. The Me and exercise, that is that is where I yeah, I will sit and say, oh yes, I need to do this, and I know what I must do, but no action behind it. So one of the things I get to put in place is to have an accountability, somebody that I'm accountable to, that will keep me on track. So but it has been like a journey, and it is the thank you for the conversation and the strategies that you shared that will help us during this time of life. And so I will continue to
All right, so let me interject a little bit. So, with I'm going to go back to a couple of years ago. I used to do a talk on TikTok that called Men's Mental and Emotional Health, and it lasted a couple of months and was doing very well because we were getting a very good response from the community. And one of the days we decided to do a detox from technology for a week. And so no TikTok, no social media, nothing like that. A detox from social media. We need to, if we need a phone call, it's best to start calling persons, talking with them instead of being on social media all the time. and we detoxed, and it felt so great detoxing from social media. Again, we came back, we met again, and we decided, let's do it again. For this time, we're going to do it for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, we came back, we spoke. Everybody was like, this is great. Now I'm sleeping a little better. I'm feeling a little bit more a little bit more energetic, because spending so much time on social media you lose yourself, and we don't do that engagement on a one-on-one basis with a normal human being each time. We tend to give me 1 second, guys. I need to run for my my charger for the laptop. I thought it
Okay.
was fully charged.
Angie, I just wanted to discuss your lack of the sleep symptoms of menopause. That's one of the major symptoms that happen when women with the because of the decline in progesterone as well. Progesterone is a wonderful hormone that allows our bodies to rest and digest and to relax. So also you can also try supplementation like ashwagandha if you don't really want to go into the hormone replacement. Ashwagandha is a really great supplement because it's an adaptogen and has been proven to lower your cortisol levels. So you can try that.
Yeah, thank you,
All
Nicole.
right, thanks.
So there is so much out there on the market, and sometimes you have to do that research on your own. But start detoxing from social media. Have a cutoff point, not just from social media, but from your phone, from all gadgets. From a holistic standpoint, there is the feng shui lifestyle. And a feng shui lifestyle is that we do not have any television within the bedroom. And when you start having television in the bedroom, you tend to start that blue screen tend to keep you up, because there is something new coming along. Also, with your phones, you tend to start watching something on the phone or doing something on the phone, and it's the same process. Just like your laptop, just like the TV, there is something that attracts you a little bit more, and it keeps you up. So if you have a cutoff point to say, all right, by say 10 o'clock is my last time being on the laptop or the computer or watching TV or on my phone, set your alarm to say 10 o'clock is my deadline. And now when you go to bed, and if you find yourself waking up, have a notebook near to you. And sometimes when you get up, just start doing some journaling at that moment, because what you're trying to do is to take everything from off your mind and place it on paper so you can have that with you. So when you get up, you will feel a little bit more refreshed, and being able to engage a little bit more with your everyday lifestyle. So try that for a week and let me know.
Okay, will do.
All right. Anybody else have any other questions in regards to menopause and andropause? And ashwagandha has been proven to help. Yes, it has. And also you can connect with Nicole. Nicole is a very good friend of mine. We grew up together in Jamaica, and then life just separates us for a while.
That's true. Yes.
Um, well, with andropause, and I'm going to share with you what I'm going through. I'm going through that weight gain, and as and I guess also it is because of my present job. It is more sedentary than anything else, and I find that I will not eat as much during the day at work, but then when I come home, I'm craving, and there's always something. I go to something floury or sugary, or if I don't, I tend to overeat because my brain is not telling me when to stop. So, and I realized this over a period of time. And what I'm also experiencing is the fatigue in the early morning. I am not as energetic as I was even 10 years ago. I would get up and everything would be fine, and I'm just going. And now I'm finding myself that it takes me a little bit longer to start get moving. And these are natural. Everything that I'm talking about is within the andropause phase that I am going through. And I'm not going to shy away from it and not share what I'm going through with the world. But I want persons to understand that they are not alone. There's changes that we can make, and start looking at what simple changes that you can make. Now, when I come home, and I will go to work as early as 5:30 a.m. and I won't leave work until sometimes 8:30. So I'm getting home by 9. So what I tend to do now when I get home at this time, and I know I'm famished and I'm hungry because I'm trying to eat a lot more healthier at work, I'll come home and instead of eating from a plate, I'm now eating from a saucer. And I'm saying, whatever fits on that saucer, that's what I'm going to eat. And I don't want to heap it. I just want to make sure that I can see the saucer, see the edges of the saucer, and not seeing just food. And I eat that, have something to drink, and go to bed. Now, my workout routine is not the best. I will try and do something throughout the day. And I realize that my strength and my muscle tone is not where it would like to be. So I have to make these changes. Strength training is one of the things that will help with bone loss, bone density, bone mass loss, right? So remember I spoke to you about osteoporosis and osteopenia. Now, if you look at your body weight, if your body weight is say 100 pounds, your bone density, the lowest level is 3% of your body weight, and the highest level is 5% of your body weight. So you try to keep it within that range. And that's where your bone mass is supposed to be in pounds. Now, if it is above or below your body, you just need to do something to adjust it. One is that your calcification in the body is too great, and it will cause osteopenia. If the calcification in the body is below the 3%, you're in osteoporosis. One way of getting to it is, one, you got to increase your protein intake. You got to do weight-bearing exercises. Two, your calcium, and not all calcium tablets are made equal. So do your due diligence and try to research which one will work best for you. Vitamin D is another thing that we lack. And this is why we end up to have to be taking supplements. When we were much younger, outside was our best friend. We were more enjoying the sun. We were engaging in exercises outdoors. Now we look outside and we see the sun and we hide from the sun. The sun is our natural way of getting vitamin D. And you don't want to be overexposed, but you want to get just enough so the body can rejuvenate itself. Every day, try to walk outside for at least 20 to 30 minutes. I know it's very hot outside, but try to be outside. And another thing that you try to do is to control your mental state by relaxing for 5 minutes out of your busy schedule. Leave your phones inside, go outside and relax. If it's too cold or too hot, just try to be outdoors for that 5 minutes, just to get that fresh air, clear your mind, and enjoy a good breath of fresh air. It will take your mind away from all the stresses and everything that you have to do throughout the day, but it also resets your body's clock so you can better able to deal with whatever comes your way. Another practice that I tend to do, otherwise from walking outside, so I'll go for a coffee, and the coffee shop is 5 minutes walk from my office or from the gym, the studio that I'm at. And I tend to take 15 to 20 minutes just to walk there and 15 to 20 minutes to walk back. So I'm outside for about anywhere between 30 to 40 minutes. And I try to find some excuse to be outside. when I'm at work, I tend to not be on my phone. I try not to be on the computer so much. I try to engage with people, try to find out a little bit more about what they're going through, and then we have a good laugh. If you look at the blue zone areas in the world, one thing that they do have in common is being happy, being contented, eating plant-based foods at most of the time, majority of the time. Now, and these persons tend not to be sick. They tend not to have as much symptoms as we have, right? But we tend to do things differently. We tend to have the stresses of life we tend to go through the stresses of life and think that this is the end of it all, and we don't see a way out. Now there's always a way out, and the way out is making a change with you. These changes that you can make or can be simple and can be small, and try to make one change, one variable, make one change of a variable of your life every single week until you are successful with your lifestyle change. It is not something that is readily done in a short moment, but it can be achieved over a long haul. Again, it is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Do things in small incremental changes. Angie, you mentioned that you don't sleep well. Exercise is almost a malicing moment for you. You malice exercise. So now, one of the changes that I'm going to ask you to do is, one, have a cutoff time with technology at night. Hopefully, this will start giving you a better sleep pattern. Two is to look at what can I do this week that will make me a little bit more active than I did last week. Is it that I can go for a walk? Instead of parking close to the store door, I park to the end of the car park and walk all the way to the store. So now instead of walking for 2 minutes, you're now walking for 10 minutes. Now, when you start doing these small incremental changes, it will add up over a period of time. Now, you have somebody who is accountable. Do a challenge where every day you have to do 10 squats or 10 push-ups or both. So the challenge is every day each of you have to do 10 squats, 10 push-ups. This is a change, and it's not a large change, it's a small incremental change, and it can be done within 5 minutes. So these are the things that we have to look at in making changes. Instead of having coffee every time, mix it up a bit. Today I have coffee, tomorrow I'll have tea. Instead of having condensed milk or all these fancy coffee liqueurs and coffee drinks inside your cup, try to do something different. Try to drink the coffee black. Instead of having all these flour-based foods, like any pastries or anything like that, try to avoid them. If you normally eat 3 cookies with your 3 donuts with your coffee, have 2. I'm not telling you to go cold turkey. Sugars is like a drug. It's like cocaine. Sugars will tend to stay with you. When you try to come off sugars, your body will have this jittery feel, or if you try to come off coffee or sodas, your body will have this jittery feeling, and you have to be strong and have a mindset change towards coming off it. I don't want you to go cold turkey, because if you come off something, you're going to go back on something else. So all these little changes that we can make will be a sustainable lifestyle, and we can see how best we can work on overcoming the hot flashes, overcoming the weight gain, overcoming the bone loss or the muscle loss. We can overcome all the different symptoms that is happening to us. I was listening to a young lady recently on social media, and one of the things she said, her body, when she tried the hormonal shots, her body rejected it, and she tried about 3 different ones, and she had an allergic reaction to each of them. So she's trying to do it as natural as possible. And going natural as possible, it has been done in the past, and it can be done again in the present. So look at each day. Every day is just a trial and error thing for each of us here on this live and each of us around the world. It's a trial and error. Now, we try something today, it doesn't work. That doesn't mean it not going to, something else can't. It can work. Can't work, I should say. Something else can work. Do our due diligence. Start looking at things that we can make changes in our lives. Sugar is one of our biggest enemies. So let's try to take away all that sweetness. And again, there is 64 different sweeteners out there on the market right now, which includes natural sugars, the natural ones like cane sugar, honey, and maple syrup. Those are the 3 that I would recommend, but then everything else. And if you can get the stevia plant itself, use the stevia plant itself. Don't go with the processed food. When I was doing my holistic wellness coaching, the CEO said to us, he did one of our sessions, and he says that eat from a plant, not what was made in a plant. Try to eat more natural foods than processed foods. The more processed the food is, the more unhealthy it is. If you think about bread, when we were growing up, if you buy the bread on Saturday, that bread won't last until the following Saturday. It will start molding by Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday, because they didn't have any preservatives in there and everything was more naturally made. Now, in today's world, all of the breads that are being made now, you can leave it on your countertop for 2 months and it doesn't change. But yet still, we still indulge in things like that. Think of fast food. Have you ever bought a fast food and eaten it while you're driving, and a fry or something dropped under the seat, and 2 weeks later you're cleaning out your car and you find the fry, and the fry looks the same way when you bought it? There's no changes in that. So why are we indulging in things like that? Why can't we make the change where we're now trying to have a healthier lifestyle so we can battle whatever comes, whatever it is that we're doing? It can help to reverse that process. Reversing the process is not the easiest thing to do. And I'm not going to tell you that we can reverse the process of menopause or andropause. We cannot. It's a done deal. God already made this our part of our lives. But what we can do is make changes to how we deal with situations. Men tend to have low testosterone and our sex drive tend to go down. And one of the things I hear some of the men say is that I don't want, I need to take the blue pill, or I need to do this, or I need to do that, because I don't want this to be happening to me. I need my sex drive to be always constant. But then they're not looking at the fact that the women go through the same, and they have to deal with things because we might want it at that particular time and the women might not want it. Now, how can we deal with things like that going forward? One, try to change your lifestyle. Try looking at everything that we're putting into our bodies. Start exercising. Exercise is a key to rebuilding the metabolic rate. And start getting enough sleep. Sleep is essential. The more we sleep, the body tends to rejuvenate itself and get back on track with everything that our body needs. Start looking at different types of food. Make it colorful. If you're making a salad, don't just put all green stuff inside the salad. Start mixing up. Make it colorful enough where you can have some greens, some reds, some yellows. I was at a conference, and the um, holistic lady who did our presentation, she's a plant-based diet. She's always on a plant-based diet. And one thing she said is that your plate should have 50% greens, 30% reds, and 20% yellows. So from that notion, when you're having your vegetables, always put a little bit of everything in there so you can enjoy what you're eating and you're getting the best benefits from it. Protein. Protein is an essential part of your diet while you're getting older. The more protein the body the more protein the body gets, you'll find that you start producing more muscles. But you don't want to overindulge in any vitamins or mineral, because I should say proteins, because the body will take in so much and then start storing the rest. So you want to be able to be active enough so the body starts burning what you put inside there. You don't want it to just sit there and do nothing. You want it to be the body to say, listen, I'm putting this inside here. So, and I know you're using it up, but you're putting in too much. Think about it from this point of view. You buy a full tank of gas and you drive 3 miles, but you buy another full tank of gas. It's not going to go into the car. It's going to be wasted. And it's going to always have a storage there. So always try to use up what you put into the body. Sugars, which I keep reiterating about sugars, try to stay away from sugars as best as you possibly can. I'm not going to tell you not to have, but what I'm going to ask you to do is to reduce the amount that you have. Flour-based products. There was a conversation I had, and one of the things that came out of that conversation is that we have to look at flour as that it can affect your hormonal changes. It's not a full study, and I don't want you to take my word for it, but I think flour also aids with reducing your estrogen levels and testosterone levels, right? So try to stay away from as much of that as possible. Eating more vegetables, eating more fruits, these are the way to go. Having more of a plant-based diet is the best way of overcoming a lot of the things that we're going through. Try to have, if you're not someone who likes to eat their vegetables, start blending it and put some fruits in there, put something in there as a sweetener, and try not to have too much processed stuff. I think I've I've exhausted a lot of the time by talking about lifestyle changes. Is there any other questions anyone wants to ask? All right. Flexibility and balance. As we get older, and I'm seeing this on a regular now, is that flexibility is gone, balance is gone. And this is one thing that we have to try to keep up with, the balance and the flexibility. Challenge yourself. And one of the things that I'm seeing advertised now is Tai Chi for persons over 50. And then you have another thing that says military training for 50s and over. It will change your lifestyle. Now, to each his own. I'm not going to tell you not to do any of the above, but what I'm going to ask you to do is to start looking at one, balancing. Think of standing on one leg and trying to hold that position, focusing forward, and see how long you can hold it. And if you can't hold it very long, keep trying. Keep trying. See if you can do it for a minute. And if you can challenge yourself for a minute, now try to close your eyes while doing it. That's another challenge. Or stand on a platform, a foam platform, or a balance board for that 1 minute. So now you're challenging yourself to be better at balancing. Flexibility. Flexibility is one thing where it helps with the mobility of the body. A lot of injuries happen when the muscles are extremely tight. So as we age, we tend not to care about flexibility. Flexibility training has become as important as strength training. The tighter the muscles get, the more injuries the body can have. So the best thing to do is to start elongating those muscles after workout. So tend to try to do a 30-minute stretch session every day, or at least three times a week. Sleep and stress management. Create a sleep routine. And the sleep routine is that, as I mentioned earlier, have a cutoff time where this is where I cut all technology off. And I'm going to now look at start calming myself to get to bed. If you're not one who likes to take sleep aids or sleep aids to go to bed, start looking at detoxing before bed. Set up a routine where you can say, okay, I'm going to be in the living room or my office at home, and this is where everything is. I'm going to leave everything there, start walking. You can now either, after you do that, you can either take a glass of water or something warm, go to bed. Make that a routine for yourself where you are now compelled to do things at a certain time. So have a cutoff time. Stress management, mindfulness, meditation, breathing, exercise, and journaling. Journaling is one of the things that I will ask you to do a little bit more of. And why journal is because if your body is going through a particular thing at this moment today, write about it. Write about what you have been doing, what caused it, what environment you were in when you have any of these symptoms that comes with either andropause or menopause, and see what you can do to change a variable. And remember, these variables are either with food, nutrition, or exercise and sleep. So change a variable. If it means that today I had coffee and within 3 hours I'm having hot flashes, instead of having coffee, let's try tea and see if the tea will help reduce the hormonal levels that causes the hot flashes, and see if that works. See if drinking something cold before will help. I'm not going to tell you I have the answers. I don't. But what I'm going to ask you to do is to try to figure it out, like, oh, I am trying to figure out what I'm going through. Everybody goes through things differently, as I mentioned earlier, but some of us can make a change, and those changes could be long lasting that will help someone else going forward. Reducing the caffeine and alcohol before bedtime, and this will help improve your sleep. Some of us are lucky enough to drink coffee and go straight to bed. It doesn't affect you. And some of us will just smell the coffee and won't be able to go to sleep. So try to reduce those things before bedtime. And life support. Lifestyle support, as I mentioned, and I keep reiterating, a healthy weight during this time of your life is adequate. Don't try to be too gaining too much weight. Try to be at a level where your body is constant. And I, I need to just back up a little bit. One, I am not a believer of the BMI chart. I'm more a believer of the the fat percentage chart. Now, you could be the same weight and say you're currently at 30% body fat. But as you start working out and getting fitter and stronger, your body fat percentages drop to a recommended amount, which is for women, the average woman should have between 18 to 25% body fat, and the average man should have between 12 to 18% body fat. And say you drop below within that range. Now you find yourself weighing the same, but your clothes fit differently. So now you're more physically fit and you're more physically active. You're going to like the changes that you see, and you're going to love the changes that you're going to be continuously doing these things, because one thing leads to from another. Looking better, trying to maintain it, and trying to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Fitness has been proven to be one of the best things to help with menopause and andropause. So let's try to do that. Stay socially connected. Friends, community support groups will help boost moods and resilience. And um, you can always reach out to me, and you can always reach out to Nicole. Nicole is midlifeenergies.com. So Nicole, can you put your email in the chat so everyone can at least can reach out to you?
Sure, Lipton. It's midlifesynergy.com.
Oh,
And I'm gonna type my email as
thank you.
well. Yes, no problem.
Midlife Synergy. My bad.
Yes. Oh, it's okay.
I I think I can't read now. As I get older,
It
something is
comes with
gone.
aging. We're both wearing glasses now, Lipton. Remember when we used to not wear glasses? Now we're getting
Yes,
older,
I
we're wearing
remember.
glasses. Oh my God.
I remember.
Yes.
We had 2020 vision, and then as we
Yes.
get, but I think I was cursed by some of my clients. I saw them in the supermarket and they couldn't read something on a label, and I took it and I read it for them, and I was laughing at three of them, and they say, "You're gonna get old and you're gonna wear glasses." So I think I was cursed.
No,
um,
it's a part of embracing the process, Lipton. Aging is inevitable, but what I teach my clients is that you have to embrace the process. Aging is not, we're not declining, but we're evolving. And when after you've gone through the wisdom that you've gained through life, you're now going to serenity where you become the wise person, the wise man, the wise woman. Aging is amazing. And so embrace it as the best thing in your life. It's a mindset. We're wearing glasses, but we're still living our lives and living our best lives right now.
we
Absolutely.
are.
Yes.
We definitely are. All right, so I'm going to go through a quick thing with plant-based foods. So rich foods that you can try are soy. I'm not a fan of tofu. I'm really not a fan of tofu, but if you are, you are, but I am not. Tempeh is another thing that you could try. Flax seeds and sesame seeds. Um, these are some of the stuff that you can add to your diet. Um, Anti-inflammatory foods like green leafy vegetables, berries, turmeric, ginger. Um, Ashwagandha is one of these. It has been known to do so many different things, and it's like one of those hidden gems where it's just now popping up on social media for the past couple of years now. Everybody's talking about ashwagandha and what benefits it can do for you. So, and try to include something with ashwagandha. Um, Broccoli for bone building foods. We're looking at broccoli, bok choy, collard greens, almonds, and fortified plants like almond, coconut, stuff like that. That will help with your bone mass. We're bone building things. Vitamin D. Remember, I mentioned about vitamin D. Um, Protein packed plants like lentil, chickpea, black beans, um, pumpkin seeds, and there is a whole list of others that you can try. So plant-based is great. Will you get as much as you want from it? No, because with going plant-based, your body is not going to get as much vitamin B12, and you're gonna need something to substitute that. But going plant-based will definitely give you some insights on how to manage your body differently, and it will help um, with weight loss, and it will also help with weight management. And you're gonna need some protein to help sustain that lifestyle. Now, on this note, the big picture that we're going to be looking at is one, that both hormonal shifts are tied to aging. And Nicole just mentioned it, that as we get older, learn to embrace it, learn to just deal with it as we go on. I'm not telling you to run away. I'm telling you to try to deal with it head on. Menopause happens, as I mentioned earlier, menopause happens at a shorter time than andropause, and andropause is slowly build up and it just creeps in on men, and next thing you know, midlife crisis reach, and we end up doing some silly things. So we're not trying to do anything silly this time around. We're trying to fix ourselves and be as genuine and as happy as possible. Within the blue zones, and I know I've been speaking for a long time. Within the blue zones, one of the things that they do on a regular basis is
Hi, Lipton. I'm sorry. I'm not hearing you anymore.
Are you hearing me now? Are you guys hearing me?
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
You're welcome. So
Yes,
on
we
that
can hear
note,
you.
oh, awesome. On that note, I'm trying to say to you is that always try to be the happiest person on the planet every day. Try to find something to bring you joy. Stress causes your body hormonal changes to come quicker than we want it to happen. So try to find something to de-stress you every day. Taking a walk outside, breathing, journaling. Um, One of the books, well, not book, but one of my lecturers, her name was Juliet Cameron. She said, she encourages her clients to do the morning pages. And the morning pages is where it's a journaling, but instead of writing about everything that happens,
You're gone again.
all right, how about now? Everybody's hearing me?
Yes, but you sound a little bit lower, as in
Yeah.
far away.
The microphone died, so currently I'm using the other microphone.
Okay, you're good.
Give me 1 second, let me switch. All right, mic check. Everybody hearing me better now? Okay, awesome. So trying to live lost my chain of thought. Anyway, let me see if I can go back to where I was. Try to do something that brings you joy each day. Oh, we're talking about journaling. My bad. Juliet Cameron mentioned about reliving yesterday's today in our journal, and try to get up in the mornings and do it. But I'm not going to ask everyone to get up in the morning and do it. What I'm going to ask you to do is to relive everything that happened yesterday and put it in writing today. When you're doing it, don't use a pen and paper. Don't use your phones, don't use technology, use regular pen and paper. And don't correct it. Even if you write a wrong word, just leave it, don't correct it. Don't read it. Just vent right then and there, and that will bring you be a little bit less stress-free in your life. Brings a little stress-free to your life. Now, don't read anything until 2 weeks later. And when you're reading it, now, don't judge yourself harshly, but be the third person to talk, to be more comforting, to be more non-judgmental when you're reading. So that is one way of dealing with the stresses that comes with each day. Another thing that we need to do is challenge yourself with some form of activity. If it means walking, if it means biking, if it means just, it could be anything, but try to challenge yourself with anything that is activity based. And your goal is to be as happy and stress-free as possible going through this. And on that note, guys, I thank you guys for joining me. I hope something resonated with you with our talk. Do you have a question before I go?
Lipton, I just wanted to mention that what you spoke about, the techniques of mindfulness, is what I've researched, and it's called the 3% method. Every morning you get up, you give gratitude. That's what I do. You give gratitude for something in your life. Then you start out, then the next you may do some activity, stretching, yoga activity. And then you read something that's very encouraging, something that's very motivational. And if you do this consistently, you start out, anything that you do, you have to start. A change takes a while to happen, but once you do it consistently for a month, it becomes habit. So if you practice the 3% method, get up and have gratitude, then you do some activity, whether you work out, you stretch, start slow, yoga, whatever it is, and then you read something inspirational, and you don't have to do them one after each other, but you can do it at some point in the day until it becomes habit. And then you have a mindset sort of transformation doing this consistently. So may not be perfect at the beginning, but it becomes a habit, and it becomes a definition of, a part of your daily routine. And it really makes a big difference for me, at least.
That's awesome. Anybody else would like to put their input in and share something that they have been working on that works best for them? Well,
Good evening, everyone.
Good
Just
evening.
before you go,
Good
listen, I'm not
evening.
going to do the video call today, all right? Because I am doing multiple things while listening to you. So thank you for sharing. Thank everybody for sharing. But you all mentioned sleep apnea. And the one thing that works for me in the early stages of menopause is having a spoonful of molasses in a glass of room temperature water. Just drink that before going to bed. It works. Well, it worked for me, right? And then now you spoke of the different experiences. Some people sweat a lot, like I sweat a lot uncontrollably. It's crazy. It's almost embarrassing. Everybody is in a room sitting, looking nice and cool, and your water is pouring off of you, right? But this has been quite informative. You have mentioned quite a few things that I've noted. But I did start the bedtime thing. Set my bedtime. Your body will fall into that routine eventually. It says it takes 21 days for a habit to be formed, right? So let's make that a good habit. But setting that bedtime, your body knows when to shut down, you know? And of course, as I said, put away all the gadgets, all the blue lights does not work for you. And if I realize I do not get my 6 hours of sleep, I don't function well the next day. So that sleep time is very important. And if that exercise too, I don't get enough sleep, I cannot go to the gym in the morning. And my morning gym is anywhere between 4:30 and 4:45, right? If I don't get that sleep, I'm not going to the gym because I won't have the energy, right? So I make sure I eat properly the day before and get that rest that is needed. So I say thank you and thanks for allowing me to share.
You are most welcome. So again, each person have their different methods. I'm not going to tell you that what works for one will work for another, but what you can do is to try and share. If something works for you, just share it and someone else will try. If it works for them, it works. If it doesn't, there's a lot more other things to try. All right. So on that note, guys, I think I've gotten a midlife crisis. I haven't gotten midlife crisis yet, but I do practice grounding in the morning. And okay, that's awesome. Again, thank you guys for everything, for being here with me and sharing everything with me. Thank you, Nicole, for your insights. And guys, you can reach out to Nicole on our website, midlifesynergy.com. All right, and her email is nicolarobinson721@gmail.com. So she does this with all her heart and mind to help women going through these stages. So you can reach out to her. You guys can also reach out to me at brigade.com. That's my website. And my email address is lipton@brigade.com. So you can reach out to me with any questions. And if you need any further assistance, if I can't help you, I'll guide you along and I will share the information with, share Nicole's information with you so you can reach out to her. And thank you again, guys. Thank you for your time and enjoy the rest of your day. And remember, be happy, be energetic, and be change. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
Lipton.
Lipton.
Okay, take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye, Nicole.
Bye,
Thank you.
Nicole.
Bye. You guys are welcome anytime.
All right.
Bye, Lipton.